yesterday, we also published a bit of a summary of what we're at with Octant V2. Let me share the link here. Have you all seen it yet? What else? We're co-sponsoring funding round for Firecaster. That's going to be pretty cool as well. Yeah, pretty much to fund Firecaster goods. Kind of like a retroactive round with Purple DAO, and Dan Romero also chipped in, and some other players that they're going to announce soon. It's going to be pretty exciting. Looking forward to that. And I think that's pretty much it. The team is at Switzerland as well. If you want to check out, we're posting some stuff and some of the sessions. It's I was there. I just came back. It's super cool. A lot of aligned people and some interesting discussions happening. So I would definitely recommend that you all follow the updates there. Share the link. There you go. And yeah, let's just straight away open the floor for some questions, comments. If anyone wants to ask anything or related to Octant V2 or what's happening next, feel free to unmute yourselves and shoot, or just write it in the chat, of course. Great question, Rowdy. We're still, the next two epochs are still gonna be, where can we find the latest V2 paper? Let me find it for you. So we have this kind of TLDR here, or one pager, I'll call it. And I'm not sure if we already published the V 0.10 kind of light paper-ish. Wayne or Dorgadas, do you know if we can share this one already?
The plan is to let those things come out over the next couple of days. They will be publishing them over, like, probably not this week, but obviously some a little bit next week, and then a little bit the following week and stuff like that. Slowly but surely we will let things go.
So I think this one pager is probably the closest and the most updated information you will find, Mike. And stay tuned, because there's a big document that's going to be circulating in the next few days or weeks that lays out the entire plan or like the entire functionality of V2 at the more technical level. So yeah, I'll also send it to you when it's out, so you can be one of the first to read.
When is the website updating? I got an email a couple weeks ago. I was curious, is that part of the same rollout?
Yes, it should be. There was some little hiccup with the website, but so it was supposed to go live last week, but I think in the next few days it should go live, or like sometime next week. Maybe. When do you have a more specific date for our friends here?
No, I'm sorry. We don't. They haven't decided completely yet, like that.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Excited whenever it comes out.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, James shared some. They actually finished the vaults now, and he actually shared some information. He did like an internal. How could you say, internal podcast maybe, or question Q&A where he did with Q, and they were asking questions about the vault and stuff. So it sounds pretty exciting. So we're working on putting some documentation together for everybody that can understand how it works and stuff like that without too crazy. Without the tech, for us people who don't know the tech, you know what I mean? So just got to give us a bit of time. But they only finished this week, so or like the end of last week, something like that. So soon.
Excellent.
Soon TM. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The idea for the vaults is, well, using already existing tech. We're not reinventing the wheel. So if you're familiar with Yearn, I'm sure many of you are here. It's gonna be pretty much a fork of that, with some added functionalities that will make it pretty cool. So we're all very excited about that. Nice. I'm glad the podcast was useful, Rene. Let me see if I find it. I can share it again. Oh, Lumina, you're muted. You have server mute. I'm unmuting you now.
Well, that was from the last time when my microphone was going on in the wrong times. I asked Durgadas to mute me forever.
All right, no, I unmuted you. You're free. Tell us when the mic goes crazy again. We'll mute you. Let me find the podcast. That was really cool, actually. There you go. James goes a little bit deeper into what Octant V2 is there with Ethereum cat herders. Shout out to them as well if you want to give it a listen.
What are the dates for the applications for Epoch 8? On the website, it's saying that it closes December 19th. Seems a little far.
The upcoming Epoch.
Yes.
The upcoming Epoch. Oh, yeah, right. That's not correct. Thanks for letting us know that. They should be open in June sometime, if I'm not mistaken. The allocation window is gonna be in July, I think mid-July to end of July.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Well, and thanks for letting us know that. I'll mention it to the team so they can take this. Yeah, Durga, it does show opens in 63 days, but when you click, it's showing like a old epoch. I think epoch 2 or something, because if you keep scrolling, it says epoch 3 starts. So I think those dates that show up there when you click are epoch 2. Anything else? Does anyone jump in?
GM, I actually have a quick question that just popped into my mind, and I'm sorry if this is answered somewhere else. I still need to read the docs a bit more, but is there a minimum that would need to be in a treasury before it's able to kind of plug into this Degens and Dragons setup?
Great question, Matt. And even if this answer, I don't think this answer is anywhere, but even if it was anywhere, like these town halls are to answer these kind of questions. So feel free to always ask. We're happy to respond. So yeah, to your question, it used to be the case that we were looking for like larger treasuries, but James was telling me that now we're looking for small to medium projects as well. I'm not sure like if there's a limit for it, but I would think it's quite low. Because did you have any project in mind you wanted to have participating in Octant V2, Matt?
It's funny. This is like just coming together as we speak, but within the EV Maps community, there's a fantasy football league, and we're kind of I'm not even going to give any context because it's like a whole long rabbit hole. But I think what we're going to do is like top off a piece of that. Maybe like take 10% of the pot every year, throw it into a multi-sig, and figure out something to do there. So I think B Broad is in here.
Yeah, Matt, I'm down.
Like, oh my god. I was just typing out a DM to him like, oh man, maybe we don't have to do this whole complicated treasury management thing. Maybe it's just like funnel money into there, plug it into Degens and Dragons. So I don't know, but that's what I'm thinking. So if anybody's a fantasy football person, please get in touch with me because big things are cooking with the math.
That'll be cool. Ben, I saw you trying to jump in there. Do you want to add some more context? Or?
I was just saying, like Matt and I have been talking about this, and he's now an official EV Mavericks holder, so our conversations are intensifying. But I love fantasy sports, and I love public goods funding. So, like, yes.
That sounds super cool. I'm gonna tell this to James, and yeah, who would be the best person to talk about this? Matt and Ben, you two maybe, or anyone else?
Yeah, I think that's perfect. I mean, it's still like we're I was about to DM him earlier and be like, yeah, you know, who should we put on this multi-sig? But yeah, definitely the two of us. And ooh, I'm so pumped. I'm going to drop a little bit more context about my fantasy sports history in the chat too. So yeah, I feel like I'm like super jazzed up about this.
Nice. Go for it, Ben. Thanks, Mike, for coming on. See you next time. Yeah, Matt, if you want to tell about it, just use the time now, because I don't think there's anybody wanting to.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I love it. This is like fantasy sports is like the one thing that I know. I'm like, okay, I'm actually an expert. That's why I'm so timid here, because I'm like, oh, I know the decade-long process of becoming an expert. I'm like, oh, I'm still just a rookie over here. But so yeah, in a past life, I was basically a professional fantasy baseball and basketball player, like in more leagues in one season than everybody that you've ever met combined, essentially, in their lifetime, possibly. So yeah, originally I spent a lot of time building like Reddit communities, like our fantasy baseball, and but yeah, I co-founded a super league, our Sultans of Stats. Let me just drop our Sultans of Stats and our Old Time Hockey. So they're free leagues, but it's super similar to my experience within Green Pill and like, you know, with community building within this space, where it's like, all right, just people that are very like-minded coming together collectively, figuring out how to like build something of substance. So yeah, it's just like this multi-division. I don't know. It's been going on for about a decade. I don't even know how many leagues there are at this point. I kind of stepped away and like just let everybody else kind of run it. But yeah, it's like this 4-division super league with like 1 league in D1, 3 in D2, et cetera, et cetera. And then like relegation from season to season based on individual league standings and like an overall leaderboard standings. Yeah, it's one of my proudest accomplishments in life. Not that it actually counts for anything, but so yeah, just like emergent, no money involved, pure passion, something like. So I don't know. I feel like there's something here that like can drag in the degen side of the world, and just I don't know exactly what the structure is going to be. Maybe it's as simple as just taking 10% of the pot from this one league and throwing it into this pool. Maybe it's just setting up multiple leagues. Maybe it's kind of trying to mimic this other structure with like the multi divisions. I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, it just seems like a slam dunk for like just creating another stream of public goods funding, throwing into this pot. And I was really overthinking, like, okay, we can get some USD Glow and yield on that, and bake some bread and eco credits and RETH and it's all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just throw it into this multi-sig and just plug it into Degens and Dragons, and like, there you go.
Yeah, man, that sounds so cool. Crazy. I didn't know your background there, but indeed, like, let's talk to James, see if that would be a possibility, but I think it would be super cool.
Hopefully we're not too small potatoes. I know originally you're going after dragons, but I don't know what we are.
Dragon X.
Dragon
X.
Exactly.
Or
The nest.
Soon to be dragons. I think those that would be cool. Let's see what can be done there. I would really hope we can find a way there. But yeah, super cool. Regardless, I think all this gamification for public goods funding is always awesome. So even if it's that, or indeed like just using USD Glow, something like that, be pretty interesting. But yeah, let's try to make it happen with Octant V2.
So I have a question.
Go for it.
I have a few friends to ask me about the new epoch, if we can call it epoch, about the grantees. Do you know in this V2 we will have a new grantees for Octant?
Do you mean for the growth fund?
Yes.
Most likely, yes. We're actually assessing now, like how effective, let's say, were initiatives that we've had so far. So if we consider that, and especially thinking that for V1 it was quite different than for what we need for V2. So if we consider that we can replicate some of the results if they were positive from the growth fund in the previous growth fund for V2, then we'll definitely have another one. Maybe, like if you have some people that are interested away, and unfortunately I cannot tell you like 100% sure this is gonna keep happening. As you know, like our goals now are to find dragons. So if we, like if the grantees or like the proposals are around helping us close dragons and become part of Octant, I think that would be for sure a fit. Like for Octant V1, we were focusing a lot more on like reaching a way broader audience. So trying to get more people, but for Octant V2, as you know, like the success of Octant V2 depends on the amount of dragons that are part of it. So I think it's gonna be focused on that. If you want to share that with your friends, Rene.
Thanks, sir.
Cool. I have 5 more minutes before I need to. So feel free to jump in if there's anything else to talk about. Oh, Mike. Oh, Mike is not here anymore. But just got the news that we're gonna be publishing this light paper actually today, apparently on Twitter. So stay tuned for that today or tomorrow. So stay tuned. Yeah, public nouns would be cool. Let's see how we can. Yeah, because actually that treasury is draining quite quickly, right? So I think it would be pretty nice to get that going. Matt, you're a public noun, right? I also have a public noun. I think we know some people. Maybe a bunch of you all here are. So maybe we can make a proposal to have public nouns join as a dragon. I think these two questions might be like the fantasy football one and the public nouns one might be related. Indeed, it's quite small, unfortunately. But let's see. Oh, Graven, do you mean general nouns, right? That they're looking for more ways to.
Yeah, I think just a lot. I've seen a few proposals of friends and things that had previously strong support, built awesome things, but the common refrain from people voting no is, well, we need to sustain the treasury. And so obviously they're getting hit left and right from everything. And you guys are probably dialing phones and hitting up everyone, but just in general, like all the NFT projects that had treasuries and are trying to stay relevant by staying active but not running out of money. Yeah, let's bring them over here.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do it. I love that idea, Graven. No, Will. The growth fund, it used to be called the community fund, I believe. It's kind of like grants that were given for content creators and communities and a bunch of other initiatives that were helping us grow as Octant. So the SQF round was the accelerator that was organized by Octant last year, which a lot of PGF, my previous project, was super. Yeah, Uniswap is a great conversation actually. It's already in the works, I believe. I think there's a lead somewhere there, but thank you so much. I appreciate the willingness to collaborate here. Good question about the accelerator projects. I can talk about a lot of PGF. Like we launched V1, which was our primary goal, and now we're waiting a bit to see if we build V2. I don't know about the other projects, but I've seen them around. There's a group chat for the participants that were dropping some updates, so it would be interesting to have that aggregated somewhere. Anyone in particular, Will, that you wanted to learn about, or anything specifically in particular you wanted to Omar. I'm writing some notes here to take them to the team to announce. I think the announce could be really interesting. It's just like we need to find a good way to have it proposed, let's say. But I think I might know a way through the council or something. All right, Will. Yeah, I'm gonna suggest to do some follow-ups with the projects. For us at LotoPGF, I can personally say it was like a very, very important, like for us as we soon after launched V1 and run some experiments. So I'm sure other projects will agree with how effective it was. All right, friends, I do need to jump now, but thank you all for coming. If you still have some questions, Wayne and Douglas might be able to answer them. Yeah, thank you all for coming on, and stay tuned because we're starting to release a bunch of exciting information about V2s that I'm super pumped for as well. So yeah, would love to read your feedback and ideas. As always, much appreciated. Bye-bye. Thank you all.
Thank you. Cheers.
See you guys. Have a great day.
Yeah, I think if nobody else has got questions, we can end it, Durgadus. Anybody got questions? Or anything you want to chat more about? No, I don't think so, Durgadus. I think let's end it. You can end it, dude.